Hi, it's Jen Hart. Today we're talking about how to learn to trust yourself. So I have ADHD, and I know, whether you have ADHD or not, the ability to know and trust your own decisions, to trust your own instinct, to trust your own intuition, to trust your own, having your own back. When you don't have those things is when we get caught up in the idea that we're less than, we're not good enough. We feel judged from others, and then we judge ourselves. The whole building of self-trust comes down to the idea that you do not have to be perfect. Yes, you might make decisions that don't have an outcome that you desire. It doesn't have to mean that you can't trust yourself. We create meaning because we didn't get what we wanted, usually, or we get a very uncomfortable, maybe even, dare I say, negative outcome from a choice. Sometimes when we've made unproductive choices, let's say, like, we were in a different mind space. Maybe you're dissociating. Maybe you were not conscious, like a lot of people, impulse control. That's a big one. Whether or not you've, like for me, finances is one of those things that it's not like I'm not aware of my finances and know exactly what, but there's still things that are in my blind spot, my purview. I can have spreadsheet after spreadsheet. I can check them multiple times and still miss something. Or when I'm creating income, I can have a misstep of like mathematics. Does that mean I can't trust myself? No, it just means that I need to figure out a way to shore up another area. And sometimes it's not going to be perfect. Most times it's not going to be perfect. The trust yourself factor, if you have a hard time trusting yourself, it could be you have a lot of negative inner critic going on. You could have had parents or society tell you that whatever your decisions you make are not trustworthy because they don't fit their agenda. You could literally be fearful of other people judging you. You could be a people pleaser. You could be someone who just is not aware of the consequences of certain decisions because you just don't have the awareness yet. You haven't have enough life experience, so to speak. Or if you've had enough life experience and you continue to take the same route, the same choice again and again, and you haven't, like they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and getting a different, and hoping for a different result. These things lead to the idea that I can't trust myself. You also, in tandem, is that if you don't have an internal thing that says, I can have my own back, whether it's you respect yourself, you take care of yourself, not in a perfectionistic way, just knowing that when shit hits the fan, whether it's a relationship or a job or financial issues or like whatever's going on, you have your own back. You take care. And you build your support system to reflect that. Not like you're all yes men, but just people that will take care of you when you can't take care of yourself. That sort of thing. Emotionally, physically, etc. Holding your hat, hanging your hat on to a higher power. I use God, source. You can have any particular point of view in that arena, and that helps you solidify that self-trust because you can hand some of that trust and to that higher being, your higher self even. The part of you that has a purview of everything, almost can see all. And even if it can't, it knows that whatever decisions you make from intuition, from logic, and the combination is that you will get to where you're going. You have survived the worst days of your life already. And you will continue to, if you build your self-trust when you know that you can count on yourself. Now with ADHD, it's so hard because there's so many different things at play where I meant to do that. I forgot that because brain, object impermanence, if it's out of sight, out of mind, you can literally want to be perfect, have every spreadsheet and still forget something. Like I do that with my finances sometimes. It doesn't make any sense because it's not logical, because it's not typical. But that doesn't mean I can't trust myself. It just means I get to trust myself because I know how to figure things out. I know how to problem solve like nobody's business. And there are parts of me that want to like give up. But then I have to have my own back and be like, we can do this. You're okay. It's a setback. Let's move forward. The whole idea about self-trust is literally taking care of you. Now, I started really understanding my own self-trust back in 2013 when I decided for the first time in my adult life to follow a exercise regimen for 90 days, 3 months. And it was torture because my brain had not gotten used to doing something for me. And also the uncomfortable factor of committing to something because my brain is very resistant to certain types of commitment. I can commit to another human being, not a problem. Like a client, 100% committed. For myself, it took a long time and still is in practice. I'm not perfect. There are times when I do not follow through on my own things because it's practice in terms of habit collection, and things have to fall off for my brain. Like my brain might not be like yours, but if I have too many things in my bandwidth, I will dissociate or I will be distracted and I won't be able to do the thing that I said I wanted to do. Now, part of that self-trust is actually being honest with yourself. Like, do I really want that? Sometimes we don't want something because we're scared to change. Sometimes we don't want to upset the apple cart of others and don't want other people to be upset with us. But that's where self-trust comes in. You have to take care of your needs, wants, etc. first, because then you can trust yourself to make decisions that are in integrity with you. With that could mean disappointing other people. That could mean saying no to somebody who takes so much of your energy. That could mean a lot of different things depending on your scenario. If you want support, I have one-on-one. Anyway, the whole point of all of this, as it's like my catchphrase, is how do you learn to trust yourself? Well, you can start a behavior shift, and that's more difficult, I think, with ADHD people because of the inherent task of memory and building habits. But once you have a habit down, or once you put your keys in the same exact spot, praise the Lord, you do not lose your keys anymore. It's the setting up of that new system, whether it's a fitness routine, whether it's posting on the internet, whether it's it takes energy. And we're always managing our energy, how many spoons we have, how much to focus on the task at hand. Self-trust is one of the most important things, so you don't feel shitty about yourself all the time. You don't deserve to feel shitty because you're a human being. You're supposed to be flawed. You're supposed to be imperfect. And letting go of other people's judgment of you is super important so you can trust yourself. Because if you're always asking everybody else for the opinion of what you should do and not actually asking yourself what do you actually want, what do you actually need, and then doing the work to give yourself that, it doesn't matter how many people tell you to do this path. You still won't do it. Everybody used to tell me I should go to school. I should go to school. I should go to school. I went to school 3 times. There's only so much someone else can tell another human being. It's not going to work because it's not aligned with that human being. So learning to trust yourself, use a higher power if you need to, God, source, whatever it takes to build these little habits, whether it's exercising every day, just moving your body. Sometimes the reason why we kind of get lost is because of the outcomes that we don't prefer, but also we make it too difficult in the beginning. So use a baby step. Always pair a new habit with a habit you already do. If you already drink coffee, add your supplements or your medicine at the same time. Obviously, if you're drinking orange juice, you shouldn't be taking certain medications because they conflict. But you know what I mean. No grapefruit juice for something else. The whole point is pair an activity with a new habit. That's one and many other tips coming. Have a great day. Learn to trust yourself. You're worth it.